Here we go, Sharon.
Hi.
Hi, Shar.
How are you?
Good. I was like, where are you?
Can you hear me?
Yes. No, everything's fine. Yeah, everything's absolutely fine. Thank you for joining.
Hi.
I can just see that. Can you go down a little bit? Is your seat a
Okay,
little
hold on.
high?
Let me fix
So
it.
I'm just honestly, Sharon, because I was just explaining that we know each other through your sister, your darling sister, my bestie, Verona.
Yeah.
Yeah, but your career, okay. So I just explained. Did you see my little video that I did of you?
Oh, that was so nice. Thank you.
Yeah, well, it didn't really do you justice.
Oh, no, it was good.
So, okay, so let's start at the beginning. Everybody, and people might have questions to ask, but the obvious question is, how did you become a backing singer?
Okay. I became a background singer. Well, how I got started was through church and singing in church choirs.
Right.
And then I got discovered in a record store in Kensal Rise, Northwest London.
Discovered? How did you? Were you singing in the record store or something?
I was singing and looking through records and, just singing. And then this man called General Saint, he heard me and he just loved my voice. And
so you're just looking, hang on, you're just looking for records going, la, la, la.
Yeah.
What did he say to you?
Just loved my voice. I think he lived upstairs.
Right.
And then he just loved my voice and came running down. He was in the flat above, and then he came running down, and then he was like, I want to work with you. So that's how everything started, from a small record store in Kensal Rise.
Did you believe him? Because somebody says, I love your voice, I want to work with you. It's like, yeah, right.
Well, I just let everything just go. I just went with the flow, I guess.
So what was the first thing that you did after that meeting with him?
Oh, studio and just lots of writing, and it was just, I just went with the flow. We made a record called Lies.
Right.
A song called You Can't Tell Me Lies, which did really well on the underground scene in London, UK. Did really well. And I got signed to Jive Records, and everything just went from there, Trish. It was just, I just went with the flow. I was young. I was 16.
16? And it just took off. So who was the first big name that you sang with?
Oh, wow. Oh, God, Trish, you're taking me back. It was Shola Ama.
Oh, wow.
It was Shola Ama. Yeah, I sang with Shola. I think she was the first big name.
Yeah.
That I sang with was Shola Ama.
And just for people who've just joined, I'm talking to Sharon White. Now I've seen you the most, I guess, with Eric Clapton, and you've been with him, I worked 17, 18 years, it must be now, coming up.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah. So Eric Clapton, I've seen you with Joss Stone, Annie Lennox, then Carole King, backing vocals. Who have I missed out? So many people.
So well, yeah, Annie Lennox, Bryan Ferry, Roxy Music. The list goes on. The list goes on. There's so many that I've been honored to work with.
So when you first meet these people, for instance, let's say the first time somebody, I don't know, how does it work? Does someone from Bryan Ferry's organization say, contact his peeps, talk to your peeps? How does that work if they like your work?
Well, I'm not going to tell my age, but back in my day, it was, the way Bryan Ferry discovered me. I was on TV, I believe, with Miss Dynamite.
Oh, right.
And then Bryan Ferry saw me on TV on Jules Holland. That's right, Jules Holland. And then that's how Bryan Ferry wanted to work with me.
So when you actually got to meet him the first time, were you starstruck?
Sometimes, yeah, I was. It's like, because this is my child. I've listened to Bryan Ferry, Slave to Love, and, you know, Avalon, you know, and then when you're with them in the room, in the studio, it's like, wow, God, is this really real? It's like, you know, yeah.
And do
So
you
sometimes
read
I get
music?
starstruck. Not anymore, though. Not anymore.
No, no, no,
No.
so casual. But do you read music as well?
No, no, I do not read music. And I remember one time back in the day, I wanted to join this agency, and they said, "No, you cannot join us." You know, they sang for people like Elton John, and you know, other people like that. No, you cannot join us because you do not read music. And I thought, because they said when we get in the studio with people like Elton John, we like to just get in and get going. So I said, okay, so I need to read music for that. I can do that anyway, but it was fine.
So how do you? So how
Wasn't meant to be.
it wasn't meant to be. So how is? What is the process? What is the process of doing backing? So you go into the studio. Let's stay with Bryan Ferry because I'm going back through the ages coming up till now. But you go into the studio. They say this is a new song now. As you don't read music, what happens? Does somebody play what they want you to sing, or do you work out what harmonies you're going to be doing?
Yeah, when I'm in the studio with Eric, you know, Eric will just play the song, either on his iPhone or through the studio speakers. He'll play the song, and then I will just listen to it, or he'll take out his guitar, you know, sit there. Then we'll just work out all the parts, the harmonies, and then just go and do it. It's it's all about your ear, and you've just got to have a really good ear and just to know the parts. And because sometimes I'll be singing a part where it's soprano, but then I'll sing alto, and you know, move around the song. And the good thing with Eric is that he gives me the freedom also to put down what I feel is needed on the song as well. He gives you the freedom to come up with ideas
To be
also. So
creative.
yeah,
Yeah.
to be creative. Yeah, yeah.
So I'm guessing some artists are like you say, like Eric, but are others where no, this is what I want you to sing, just this.
Yeah, that I think Bryan Ferry was like that. Bryan Ferry, he's definitely very regimented in what he wants on his record, and that's fine because some artists are different to
Yeah.
what they want. But it's absolutely fine. Every artist I work with, they're different.
So
They're different.
how did you go from working with Bryan Ferry to Eric Clapton?
Have you frozen? Well, yeah, I believe I was in Australia with Bryan Ferry, and Eric Clapton called and asked asked if we would join him on his Japanese tour. And then, you know, it was not nice saying to Bryan that this is going to be the last tour that we're going to be doing, because Eric's asked us to join him. But we were not, I was not leaving Bryan Ferry, but you know, you just got to evolve where you evolve, you know, and it's always a blessing. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was a call that Eric made a call to us in Australia, because recently to that I was working on his album, and he loved what he heard, and then he asked us to join him on tour.
And you've been with him ever since. But I've seen you also with in the meantime with Joss Stone.
Yeah.
So how long have you been working with Joss Stone?
I've been working with Joss Stone off and on for about 4 or 5 years.
So
yeah. She's a sweetheart.
she seems very free and very easy. So, but what I notice is the styles that you sing are really different. If you think of Roxy Music to Eric Clapton to Joss Stone to Carole King, is there any particular genre of music you prefer, or any genre of music you think, no, that's I can't sing that?
No, there's not a genre of music that I prefer, because for me, music is music. I don't agree with music being categorized. Music is music, art is art, and every artist that I sing for, Trish, I give it my all, and whether it's R&B, whether it's rock, whether it's classical, it's music. It's the art. It's the passion behind it. You know, when I was singing with Carole King and we sang Tapestry, which
Oh,
she performed that live for the very first time in Hyde Park, I was just honored. And to hear the catalogue of songs on Tapestry, I was just honored just to be there and just, be a part of that historical, magical day.
and
Yeah.
something that would have been very exciting for her as well.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Do
Oh,
the
yeah.
stars, do the stars ever get nervous? Carole King, Joss Stone, Bryan Ferry, Eric Clapton. Do they ever get nervous, or are they just like casual?
I've not, no, I don't think it's nerves. They know what they want. It's like when I was singing with Carole King, we rehearsed at her home in London, and she would not, like, we was rehearsing Natural Woman,
Natural.
and we were singing Natural Woman, and the part where Aretha would do it, when she would do the ah, woo, woo, Carol said, no, 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 I don't want that. She was like, I don't want that bit, because that's not how I wrote it. That's how Aretha did that. So I didn't class that as nerves. It was just what they want,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
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 Mm-hmm.
And do you ever get nervous?
Good nerves. It's good nerves, Trish.
Yeah.
It's real good nerves. I don't really, maybe when family or close friends come to see me, maybe. But then when I get out there and I see them, then the nerves are gone. So it's
That's
fine.
weird. So I'm the same. I never get nervous, but if I've got family, if the kids ever come and see me, or not so much my girls because they've grown up seeing me, but
Right.
a boyfriend or somebody else like that, I'm like, you're nervous. It's so weird, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good nerves. Good nerves.
Good
Good
nerves.
nerves.
So let's talk about your, and just for people who've joined, I'm talking to Sharon White, who's, I call you backing vocalist to the stars, which even that title doesn't do you justice. she's so humble as well. What your main instrument is your voice.
Yes.
Now, what you must have to look after it so much. You must have to always consider your voice, because it's your passion, it's your living, it's your life. What are some of the things you do to look after your voice?
Nothing.
Well, you don't smoke.
No, Trish, I'm going to keep it real. I do not do nothing. I don't do I don't do warm-ups. I don't do anything. I remember when I was in Annie Lennox's dressing room, and maybe borrowing some mascara or something from Annie, whatever.
Is this
And
Annie Lennox? The Annie Lennox.
the Annie Lennox, yeah.
She's a gorgeous woman. Yeah.
Dressing room, pottering around, looking what makeup she's got. Lend me this, But then we did some kind of warm up with the other singer, but I don't really do warm up. We don't do. I don't do warm ups. I don't. There was one time when my voice. We just did Crossroads with Eric Clapton last year, and a lot of us on the tour caught a cold, so I caught it, and I had to have some honey and warm water, and that was it. But I don't really do.
So you don't do this thing, never eat chocolate before a performance, or never drink ice cold water, and nothing like that?
I have chocolate, I drink, and I have ice cold water. But I have to do it in secret, because when I was having the chocolate, Eric caught me, and he said, "Don't have the chocolate because it's gonna coat your voice." But I'm really bad. Don't ask me.
So
No.
your voice is just your natural. That's just the way it is. Do you sing at home?
No.
Or in the shower?
No. I'm like
if you ain't paying, I ain't singing.
I'm like I'm like the builder that don't build their house, but build everybody else's house. I don't, you know, and sometimes my daughter is like, oh, let's sing or whatever. And we do, but I just, no. And it's like when we come off the plane and when we get in the cars, when we're going to our hotels, and we'll have like a chauffeur that will put on music. And all of us are like, no music, no music. We don't know music.
Really?
No music. No,
why?
No, it's like, no.
Because it's a job?
No. Sorry?
Because it's a job?
No, I never call what I'm doing a job. It's just, I'm blessed. It's not, I don't really see it as a job. I'm blessed to get paid for what I do, but it's just, sometimes I don't want to hear music.
If you do listen to music of your choice, what kind of music do you like?
Oh, all kinds of music. I do like blues, soul, Nina Simone, Billie Holiday, Miles Davis I've been listening to. I love reggae music. I love gospel music. So all kinds of music. I love.
Right across the board. So,
yes.
So is there, who's the people that you would love to, are there people that you hear singing, you think, you know, I'd love to work with that artist?
It was Aretha Franklin. I really wanted to work with Aretha Franklin. I met Aretha Franklin in New York, and the last thing I did say to Aretha Franklin, one day I will work with you. And I said this when she was checking out the hotel, you know, but that would have been amazing to have worked with Aretha.
Now she's one of those legends.
Yes, my idol, my inspiration.
Really? She's your inspiration?
Oh yeah.
And so what, Natural Woman would have been
doing
that with Carole King must have given you bumps.
Oh yeah. And I heard, because the band members that I work with on Eric, most of them have worked with Aretha Franklin, so I enjoyed listening to the stories, and you know, it was a dream of mine, but it wasn't to pass. It wasn't meant to be.
Yeah. Well, somebody said, can you tell stories about Eric Clapton? Not if she wants to keep working. But, you know, I said in the introduction, I said, you know, he's Eric Clapton and the family, you know, like Lloyd, and I'm just thinking of Paul Carrack. I love Paul Carrack.
Yeah.
They've become like a family.
Yes.
And do you see Eric as almost an member of the extended family?
Yes. Oh yeah. It's 18 years, so of course he's definitely now become family. You know. Can
you tell us a little bit about what he's like? Because people have these perceptions of what stars are. They blow their personalities up to either, you know, massive things. But I've always said even the Queen goes to the loo. You know what I mean? They're real people. What kind of a guy is Eric Clapton?
He's just, as they would say in England, meat and potatoes. He's so down to earth. He's nurturing. He always wants to know that you are okay. Always wants to know if you're okay. I could text him and message him. He's gonna message you straight back. He's just a great boss.
So it's not starry.
No. No. It's like I was down Fifth Avenue in New York, and I was shopping, and then I passed him, and I'm like, I'm thinking he's gonna have, this is when I first sort of joined Eric, and I'm thinking he's gonna have security. I'm like, what are you doing here? Oh, where's security? He said, I'm just gonna buy some trainers, you know?
Just walking around.
Yes, he's just so down to earth, and he's great, and I've grown to love him, and he's become family. He always wants to know how I'm doing, how my daughter's doing, and he's family. He's family now.
Were you with him when his son sadly passed away? Was that after?
That was before my time.
But it must be hard for him to perform, like, you know, Tears in Heaven. I always wonder how when something is so connected emotionally, do you pick up that emotion from him as a singer?
We started singing Tears in Heaven in a reggae style, so sometimes it softens the you know the meaning behind it, but yeah, it's very difficult sometimes to sing Tears in Heaven, and many times I'm a mess after singing Tears in Heaven, because I connect and I feel Eric when he's singing,
Yeah.
and also with loved ones that I've lost as well. It's just a song that always brings tears when I'm singing Tears in Heaven.
Because so the music really is in your, it sounds corny, it's a Kiki, what's it, Kiki D sang it. The music really is within your soul. You feel it. So if you are singing a sad song, you actually feel that. If you're singing a happy song, do they really connect and affect you?
Yeah, especially when you listen to the lyrics, because sometimes you can ask the artist what made you write this song, what's the meaning of why you wrote this song. Because I was talking to Eric about the song he wrote, Presence of the Lord. I said, why did you write Presence of the Lord? Because it's one of my favorite songs that he sings. And
which one? I'm just trying to remember. Oh, I should know.
Yes, Presence of the Lord. Yeah, and he wrote
go
that.
Go on. Can you just sing me a little tiny bit? Because I'm trying to remember which one it is. So seriously, I can't.
It's I have finally found where to live in the presence of the Lord. But it's a song he wrote when getting in touch with God, and I love singing that song. That song always makes I'm a mess after I sing that song too.
Does it take you back to your church singing?
Yes.
Yeah.
I see my mom.
Ah, your mom. I should tell you, your mom was a trailblazer in in social work. Your mom was I wish I'd have met her, but I kind of felt her through Verona, through your sister. Just that's both our mums have passed, and I think there's a lot of similarity with what's. Do you think it's affected your career being the child, like I am, of West Indian immigrants who came to Britain, in the 50s and the 60s?
No, I don't think it's affected my career.
But I mean, in not badly, in a way of, I mean, I've always joked that West Indian mothers won't take any rubbish.
Maybe with discipline, because my mom, she always used, her mother always used to say, a humble man rides a donkey long. So the way I took that in my career is, when you're working with different artists, just be humble. Just don't try and be the artist. Stay where you are. If you're the background vocalist, stay being the background vocalist and not the soloist. Yeah. If you're the producer, stay being the producer. If you're just be humble. Be humble, and then you can, longevity. You'll definitely have longevity in the business. But being humble is, I always say, is a key to what my mother taught me, to just be humble. Yeah. Just be humble.
Now, what about the actual performances? Because I've seen you so many times. You are moving from the minute you get on that stage to virtually till the end. It must be like a workout.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's crazy, and I don't like heels either. So it can be a workout, but I enjoy it. I really I enjoy it from the beginning. I feel, and the audience, I feel the audience, and the audience, it's just an adrenaline pill that they should really bottle up and sell.
What's the big, do you know what the biggest audience, somebody asked what the biggest audience you've played to?
It will be at Madison Square Gardens.
How many people is that roughly? I mean, I've been, I think 3 times to see you.
Yeah, it's maybe like 75,000 people. And then we played there 2 nights. Yeah, 2 nights. So, yeah, it will be Madison Square Gardens and Hyde Park with Carole King, and Hyde Park also with Eric Clapton as well. There was a sea of people. You just didn't see the end. It was
Well,
Amazing.
I remember when we came to see you and I was going through my cancer treatment. If you know, they
Yes.
reached out and I came to see you, and that was such. It meant so much because the organisers of that concert were the first ones. The guy just reached out to me, said, "You know what? My mum's going through cancer treatment. I want to give you something," and
Yeah.
invited me. Now, somebody said, "Did you ever play with Dave Bronze, Eric's bass player, a
Dave,
while back?"
Dave
Dave,
Bronze?
yeah. Is that
Yes. Yeah, many times. I love Dave. Many times we played on Eric together. Dave Bronze, definitely. Yeah, I love Dave. Dave's a dear friend of mine. A
so?
dear friend.
So I guess they're like members of the family who leave, but you still stay in contact, and it's like aunties and uncles coming and going.
Yeah, I always stay in contact with all the bands and band members. We text each other, we WhatsApp each other funny things. It's a family. It's a
Yeah.
family. It's important when you're working with, you know, your bandmates. There's a family connection, and I always stay in contact.
Now,
Always.
here's the thing, because people just see you at a concert and they just think that's all you do is the concert. But in between that, there's so much travel, there's rehearsing. If you're doing a tour, how many places usually would be on? How many gigs would be on your average tour? Say going on tour with Eric.
Um, Usually it's how many? It depends. It really does. Maybe it really depends.
But
It could be 10 shows, it could be 30 shows. It really depends, and it's
and
spread
in between,
across through the year.
what I was going to say, in between that, there's rehearsals. How often would you rehearse normally? I mean, now you can't because we're all in lockdown, but normally,
Yeah.
how often
Well,
would you rehearse?
we would rehearse for about 2 weeks. Yeah,
And
for about 2 weeks we would rehearse.
for the whole day, you go into the studio at 9 o'clock in the morning and knock off at 1.
Well, Eric rehearses very early in the morning. He rehearses, we start rehearsals at, I'd say, like 10 a.m. in the morning, 10, 11 a.m. in the morning. And
Right.
then we would finish maybe around 3 p.m. So yeah, that's how we rehearse for 2 weeks.
For 2 weeks
And
straight.
then we go on tour, and it's showtime. No sound checking,
You
nothing.
don't sound check anything.
No, we have the whole day. So if we're anywhere in the world, we have the whole day. We don't have to go and sound check and then come back. So it's perfect.
So the
Perfect.
first time you're going to use your voice, because people expect you'd be backstage going me. But the first time you use your voice is when you step, ladies and gentlemen, and you're out there.
Sorry, could you say that again, Trish?
No, I'm just saying, people think that you'd be backstage going me before the concert, limbering up. But you're saying you have the whole day off, and then you just walk out onto the stage and you start singing.
Oh yeah. No, I'm not rehearsing or doing any warm-ups.
Wow.
Nothing. I'm probably just probably talking.
You've probably been in the game long enough. Somebody's asking what it was like working with Annie Lennox and Dave. Did you work with Dave Stewart as well, or just Annie?
With Dave Stewart, also with Eurythmics. Yeah.
So what singles would people know your voice from that they did together?
I toured with Annie and Dave. So obviously we did Sweet Dreams, and all their hits. So yeah, it was great work. Annie Lennox is the sweetest.
Isn't she?
Sweetest. One of the sweetest women in the business.
Isn't she? Yeah.
Oh yeah. And Dave Stewart, he's a character. It was great working with
Are they very yin and yang sort of thing? Are they
yeah.
Very, yeah.
Yeah. It was great. Great.
I tell you, the thing I remember about Annie Lennox was I got invited the day after I had my first breast cancer operation, and no one knew. Your sister knew, obviously,
Yeah.
but nobody knew. And I had to go to this dinner with, it was a lunch with Sarah Brown, who was Gordon Brown, the Prime Minister's wife.
Yeah.
And Annie Lennox was there, and I just had surgery, and God, no, I just thought I could continue. That was my first operation after breast cancer.
Yeah.
I don't know how she knew. Annie Lennox came. I wanted to meet her, so I went up to her and I said,
Yeah.
"Oh, I'm ever so sorry, Annie Lennox. You don't know who I am, but I just wanted to." And she stopped me and she took her hands and she held my face in her hands. And
That's her.
I know who you are, darling.
Yeah.
I watch you every morning.
Yeah.
And she said, and she just said to me, "You'll be all right. You'll be all right."
Yeah.
I was in such pain from this operation. And I was like, I was freaked. Like, how did she know?
Yeah.
She's so in tune.
Oh, yeah. And she's so nurturing. She's so nurturing. I remember when we were in South Africa because she was singing for Nelson Mandela, and we were just sound checking, and I was sitting on the side of the stage, and she came with a blanket and she covered herself, and then she covered me, and she had her head on me. She's such a nurturer. She's just so beautiful. Has a beautiful heart, beautiful spirit.
It does. Now, just listening to you talk, you just say, singing from Nelson Mandela, South Africa, this country. You must have been pretty much all over the world.
Yeah.
So you South Africa,
Blessing.
China?
Sorry, Trish, what was that?
Have you ever played in China or
Japan?
Japan?
Oh, yeah. Japan is my second home.
Really?
Home, yeah. My best friend is Japanese. And that's my second home. And I love it when we go to Japan. I love it. Love it. That's it. I'm home.
Are the audiences different, say, from Japan to Britain to the States? Do they have different vibes, or are just people are people when they're in a crowd?
Yeah, the first time that I went to Japan and we were performing, they did not clap. It's like you perform, you're leaving your heart on the stage, you're sweating, you're like, yeah. But then they're just, very polite, very modest, very polite, yeah.
So how do they?
But now it's changed because now they're rocking out with us now. So, but it was different. But so we had to ask. They said, look, that's how they respond, and don't worry about it. It's how they are. They're very modest, and it's beautiful. I love it.
So they must have picked up clapping from the West. What about in Russia? Because I know I've been to see a Russian artist, and everybody brings up flowers. Have you ever played in Russia?
I have played in Russia with a lot of artists. Yeah, I cannot remember the flowers part, but yeah, I do enjoy Russia.
Who have you played it with in Russia?
The last time I went to Russia, I think it was with Joss Stone. Yeah, I think it was with Joss. Yeah.
And it's interesting now because of the internet, I guess everybody speaks English. So do audiences, wherever you are, sing along with the lyrics?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they all sing, even when it's countries, there's a language barrier, but they all know the lyrics. They all know the lyrics. Music is just so universal. So universal. That's what I love. Yeah.
So let's come back to you where we started. Do you see yourself ever doing solo projects again? Yeah, definitely. Working on, while I'm writing, I constantly do write. But yeah, I do see myself doing some solo work again. You do?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
And what do you know? Can you tell us what kind of music? Because you mentioned you loved reggae. Would you do reggae or stick to rock?
Again, I don't like to put myself in a box, Yeah. It's music, it's my art, and I'm sensitive about my music. So it'll just be music, but it's just my passion will be there written on paper, and you'll hear it out.
Well, you see that when you see you perform, it's your absolute heart and your soul. Everything comes out. Now, are there any concerts that have been cancelled? Then there must have been concerts that, because of this quarantining, were you meant to be on the road?
Yeah.
Oh,
we were meant to be on the road May, and that's been postponed till next year due to the COVID It's been postponed until next year, unfortunately. You
So
know,
this is the Clapton tour, or what?
yes, with
Europe,
Eric, yeah.
world,
Oh yeah.
or
And you know, we've all got to be safe. We have
yeah.
to be safe, keep the audience safe. This is not about trying to put, bums on seats. We've got to be safe.
And Eric, like me, we're all high risk. The oldies,
Everybody's high risk.
the oldies. But was that a tour of UK, US, everywhere?
That was a European tour.
Wow.
And we were going to be going to Italy, and we were going all around Europe. So that's been postponed till next year. So looking forward to doing it next year. But the main part is just staying safe and quarantining, even though I'm going crazy.
Are you going mad? What are you doing to keep yourself busy?
I've been baking, walking. I literally live in the forest, so just walking around the forest and just listening to music.
And not even singing.
No. Not really singing. I have been doing some singing because I'm working on, which I can't really say. I'm doing. I'll be singing at a virtual concert soon. So I've been doing some singing for that.
So virtual rehearsals, as it were.
Yeah, we're doing some rehearsals for something that's coming up.
Right. Well, you're going to hate me because we're going to say goodbye, but I just wonder what if you could sing us a tiny little thing to say goodbye. Yeah, she's looking at me like. Oh.
I was born by the river in a little tent. And just like the river, I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, but I know change gonna come. Oh, yeah.
Goosebumps. Goosebumps. Somebody said such a great voice. Shar, thank you so much. I told your sister I was
Tricia, thank you so much. And we've got to get together after all of this and have a drink, have a coffee, and you're only 1 hour away from me, remember?
I know. It's weird, isn't it? Because small distances, it doesn't matter how close or how far you are.
Right.
We're all sort of cut off, but I message Verona all the time, and but she did my hair just before.
I know. How are you coping not getting your hair done right?
No, this is the serious stuff now, people. No, I'm fine. She did my hair just before. I just explained to people, Verona, is my bestie.
Yeah.
My hair, and I mean, she did my hair. She was the one who came to the house when I just before I had kids.
Yeah.
Cut my hair off, dyed it blonde, and she's been with me. Oh, we've been.
Yeah, she was there during those.
A whole time. She's like a second mom to the kids.
Nurturing.
Oh, yeah. Both you guys are nurturing. I mean, that's your mom's legacy. I mean, it's no. She and I got together the night before I got on the plane to come back here because they were talking about closing the borders here. So I came on March the 15th.
Right.
So we had a drink on the evening of March the 14th.
As you do.
As you do.
As you do.
As we do. Oh, no, we do. We're like, see you soon. Oh. And then this happened. So, I told her that I'd be talking to you. She'll be like cheering away.
Oh.
But thank you for talking.
I miss my family. I'm here in Georgia now. I live in Atlanta and I miss my family. But WhatsApp is great.
Isn't it? Give my love to your
lifesaver.
Yeah. Give my love to your little girl, which you're not little.
Yes, I will.
All right. Take care.
Mwah.
Mwah.